What is going on, Crimson City? My name is Crimson CBAD, the coach of your Detroit-type Nulls, bringing you guys our Week 6 team builder, going up against Iron Boffin and the Rochester Rhydons. Boss, a great friend of mine. Go check out his channel. It'll be in the description of this video, as well as the link to the rest of our NPA ventures. If you guys want to check all that out, check out last week's battle. For sure, it was a crazy one. Absolutely crazy. We are looking to take on Boff today, and his team is very, very terrifying. And I think I've got to boil down to what he'll bring, and I think I've got to boil down to what we need, which is what a team builder is for, hopefully. So we'll talk a little bit about his team. You guys see it right above me here. He has a very, very threatening team, Terrakion. All right, cool. Game's over. He's got Terrakion. That monster hits so hard with a base 129 attack. Great stab in both, you know, things like Stone Edge, things like Rock Slide, things like Close Combat. Can be a, you know, banded user with things like Quick Attack as well. Can be a Scarf set, can be a sweeper. Can be like a Swords Dance sweeper with Rocky MZ or Fight MZ, depending on what he brings. I definitely anticipate like a Rocky MZ SD Terrakion, but we'll see. We'll see. He has Sylveon, a great fairy type, very specially bulky with the Pixelate ability, giving all normal type moves fairy typing and an extra 20% power. So hyper voices are definitely coming off. It's also a pretty cool cleric. Typically seen run more physically defensive, and I think, given my team, that he would run a bit more physically defensive, if I had to say. Sorry, I had to fix that. I realized that my team, my roster of Pokemon wasn't right, and I'm hoping that that wasn't the case on last week's team builder, because if it was, yikes. I apologize about that. But Sylveon, often seen, I feel like against my team, he'd run it definitely more physically defensive for things like Tauros, for things like Buzzwole, for things like, you know, just because he can handle the rest of my special threats with that thing, and he wouldn't want to stay in on him. Blastoise can definitely be showing up. Very solid spinner, very bulky water-type Pokemon in the format. Has Refresh, which is really cool. I like Spin, Scald, Refresh, Toxic would be like my guess, holding leftovers. Spiritomb can definitely show up. It's got a very impressive attack stat. It does a lot of really cool things which really hinder my team. Will-O-Wisp support, priority and Sucker Punch, and Shadow Sneak, and Pursuit Trapping as well. So I definitely would see Spiritomb coming. He has the Excelgor. We traded Excelgor for Tauros to the Rhydons, so he does have access to Excelgor. Very fast Pokemon, a variety of hazards. It can set up a variety of things it can do as well, especially with that impressive base speed of 145. He's got Sandslash, another very reliable spinner. It can set rocks. It had things like Earthquake, Toxic, you know. I think more of a physically defensive set. Mega Latios. He has Terrakion and Mega Latios. Cool. So Mega Latios is very, very hard hitting. We used Mega Latios in WBE. Mega Latios, a little bit more offensive with that base 160 special attack, base 130 attack, has access to Dragon Dance. I mean, it's a monster, and I think we've got the team to beat it, but we'll see. We'll see. Because he's Mega Latios, he cannot be Z Latios, so that is really cool. He does have Magnezone with the Magnet Pull, Sturdy, or Analytic abilities. Very especially offensive with a base 130 attack. Very, very cool Pokemon. Definitely anticipate to see that. He has Blaziken, not Speed Boost Blaziken, which has a variety of coverage moves that can be niche if he does decide to bring them. I don't think he'll bring that. He has the Tornadus Incarnate, very fast, pure flying type Pokemon, both with Prankster and Defiant abilities. Stab Hurricanes are always a thing that we got to worry about. He can set up HOENN support for some of his other mons as well. And then his last mon is Victory Bell. I don't see Victory Bell coming. I don't know how to talk about Victory Bell. If he brings Victory Bell, that's egg on my face. So we're going to talk a little bit about our team right here. First up, out the gate, some notes on his team really quickly. Yikes, sorry, rewind, stop, rewind. His rockers are Terrakion and Sandslash. He has a Spike and a T-Spiker in the form of Excelgor, 2 Spinners in the form of Blastoise and Sandslash, 3 Defoggers in the form of Mega Latios, Blaziken, and Tornadus, and a Heal Beller in the form of Sylveon. So, let's talk a little bit about our team here really quickly. So, first up here, we have Mystery Weesnaw, the Zeb Striker, rocking the Expert Belt, Lightning Rod ability, kind of hoping to deter his Magnezone from going for the electric moves, because I'm not bringing a ground type this week. Not bringing Piloswine, because dual stab on that thing does hurt. So this was my best bet for the Magnezone. I'll talk a little bit about the 6 I feel like he is bringing, and I want to say this is the most confident I've ever been in a, somebody's probably commenting, why are you so blue? I just got done streaming, I left the lights on, so I did it in another battle too, so hopefully you guys enjoy it. If not, sorry. But the, if you don't like it, let me know in the comment section, of course. But the 6 I feel he has to bring Terrakion, he has to bring Magnet Pull Magnezone for Celesteela. He has to bring Spiritomb, because it does just so much work to my team, and outside of, you know, Mega Altaria, I really don't have a ways of hitting that super effectively, depending on the set. Mega Latios, if you draft Mega Latios, you know, bring it. Come on now. I feel like he has to bring Sylveon. Sylveon just does so much work once he starts wearing down my walls. And he has to bring Blastoise, and I would anticipate kind of like a mixed defensive Blastoise, a physically defensive Sylveon, a bulky offensive Spiritomb, Mega Latios, maybe Calm Mind 3 attack, Scarf Magnezone, I would say, and then perhaps either Banded Tarac or Swords Dance Z Tarac. That is my guess coming out of the gate. Sometimes team builders are done in, you know, sometimes I do my team builders after the fact. This is one of those instances where this is before the fact. These are my 6. I feel good about it. Let's hope that that's what he brings, because that's what I kind of plan for. So, Mystery, the Zebstrika with the Expert Belt, Lightning Rod, Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, Overheat, and Signal Beam. 36 in HP, 252 attack, 220 speed with a timid nature. Volt Switch and Thunderbolt is very nice for his team, especially if it's the team that I think he's bringing, because he won't. I don't see Sand Slash coming, so I'm free to just kind of Volt Switch and Thunderbolt all over his team. Overheat is there for the Magnezone. I have an incredible chance of knocking that thing out from full, provided he is not Akaberry or Bulk invested. I would anticipate a max special attack Scarf set against this. So Overheat has a tremendous chance to knock out that thing from full. Signal Beam is there. Signal Beam hits the Mega Latios for some damage as well, just in case I do need it. We do outspeed the Mega Latios. This is actually, we are outspeeding Tornadus and Carnets. The only mon we do not outspeed on his team is the Excelgor. I don't see it coming, so provided he does not have a Scarfer, once Magnezone goes down, we can just go into Zebstrika and start clicking buttons. So that'll be really cool. Lightning Rod, just because it does give us that +1 special attack. So if we switch in on Electric move on Celesteela, we get our boost. We 100% drop Magnezone with the Overheat. And then if he switches into something else, we get a really hard hit off on that thing. It is only base 80 special attack, but after +1, you know, we are doing some damage. Next up here, Mega Altaria, the Commander. She is rocking this week with Agility, Hyper Voice, Roost, and Earthquake. 84 in HP, 4 in attack, 252 special attack, 4 in special defense, 164 speed with a hasty nature. After this, after an agility, we outspeed Scarf Terrakion by 1 point, which is what I want. Hyper Voice hits everything very hard. Very hard. Sylveon and Blastoise are definitely going to be taking some hits from this thing. Roost for the longevity. Earthquake is there for the Magnezone. Other than that, like I said, once his walls go down, we hit Earthquake, we hit Magnezone with an Earthquake, it's gone. And then, like, after Magnezone goes down, you don't really have, you know, a Hyper Voice switch in, like, maybe like AV Victory Bell. But like I said, I definitely think Sylveon and Blastoise have to come with, Sylveon especially with that 130 base special defense, and Blastoise has 105, so I mean, he's got to be rocking some mixed defenses there. So I do think Special Altaria has a chance to put some work in. Before Mega Evolution, we do obviously outspeed Sylveon. We do outspeed the Spiritomb as well, which is really cool. That's a way of hitting that thing super effectively. If he wants to go for a Will-O-Wisp, expecting like a Dragon Dance set, we just blow it back with Hyper Voice 100% of the time. So I'm very confident in this. 84 in HP to give us the most amount while still having an odd amount of HP to switch in on entry hazards an odd amount of times. The 4 in the tag and the special defense are there. Hasty Nature just because I didn't want Earthquake hindered by my nature in case it did matter. And once we, you know, boost up, once we get our speed up, nothing's really hurting us too badly there. Any priority he has on his team outside of Quick Attack on Terrakion, Quick Attack on Sylveon as well, we resist that. So the defense drop isn't going to be too crazy to deal with. I'd rather get more damage off with Earthquake on the Magnezone. Next up here, we are bringing Lift off the Celesteela with the Shed Shell, the Beast Boost ability, Heavy Slam, Leech Seed, Toxic, and Protect. 244 in HP, 4 in attack, 68 in defense, 180 special defense, and 12 in speed with an Impish nature. With this speed, we are outspeeding uninvested Magnezone and uninvested Sylveon. I don't anticipate uninvested Magnezone, but just in case he does have it, we have the Shed Shell. Typically you see something with like, you know, like a Wakanberry and Earthquake. You know, we can't outspeed this thing because we do have one more base speed point in it. But like I said, I anticipate Scarf. I don't want Celesteela being the Magnezone trapper. So if Magnezone comes in, we switch out into something else, frankly. The 244 gives us the most amount of bulk that we can have while still keeping that odd number. 4 in attack just to kind of keep it kosher. 68 in defense. The 68 in defense, we are outspeeding uninvested Sylveon. With the 68 defense, Impish Nature, and 180 in special defense, we are 3-hit KO'd by Modest, Specs, Sylveon, HP Fire. 2-hit KO'd by Specs, Magnezone, Thunderbolt. 2-hit KO'd by Jolly, Blaziken, Flare Blitz, and 3-hit KO'd by Jolly, Terrakion, Close Combat. So we will be able to get a huge amount off. We do have Protect here in case he is the Z Terrakion, which I do think he will be. We can go for a Heavy Slam, and then on his Z move, which I would anticipate to be the next turn on the Swords Dance, we go for the Protect, burn his Z move, and go from there. Leech Seed and Toxic is very nice. We can pass around some recovery with Leech Seed. Toxic to wear down things like Sylveon, Blastoise, potentially even the Spiritomb, potentially even the Mega Latios. I really don't want that thing being around, and if I can toss a Toxic off on that thing, that is very, very nice. And one of the ways that I actually want to go about that, it's a very interesting set. I don't know how well this will work. This is kind of a Blastoise trapper, a more specially defensive trapper, being able to help out with things like Sylveon, Blastoise, and Mega Latios. Cradilly is coming this week. Antidote with the leftovers, the Storm Drain ability, so we are not taking any Scalds from that. Block, Toxic, Rest, and Giga Drain. 252 in HP, 76 special attack, 180 in special defense with a sassy nature, boosting our special defense. With this set, we are taking, I believe, a +1 or 2. Let me double check this here really quickly. Antidote, and then Mega Latios. Let's just check this out here really quickly. So we take a +1 Draco Meteor from this thing and can turn around and click Rest. If we can get a block off on the switch in, we can go for Rest and just kind of go from there because it'll be a -2. Other than that, things like the Blastoise, like I said, Draco Meteor has a chance to 2-hit KO if he is, obviously. It's going to do 48 to 58. It's actually doing 42 to 50. We toss a Toxic off. We block that thing in as well if he feels like going for Calm Minds and things like that, just so he can't get away. This is a very niche trapper that I'm confident in because once, like I said, once things like Sylveon and Blastoise go down, if I can get an agility up with Mega Altaria, it just kind of wins after a certain point. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm really hoping Cradilly puts in a lot of work this match. I really like this set. Next up here, these last two, I'm really not too 100,000% confident in, but we can go on ahead and run through them here really quickly. First up here, we have the Cortex, the Uxie, rocking the Farium Z Levitate ability, Psychic, Protect, U-Turn, and Dazzling Gleam. 244 in HP, 252 in defense, and 12 in special defense with a relaxed nature. Psychic hits everything that is not Magnezone. Magnezone obviously sits in front of this thing, but that's what I've got U-Turn for. Psychic hits everything that is not named Spiritomb and Magnezone and Mega Latios, but we've got Dazzling Gleam for that. The idea here is we're very physically defensive to help also with Tarax Z Crystal because that can just Terrakion can sweep and change the game. And Uxie can go for a Psychic on that thing, being able to do some damage as it goes for a Swords Dance, and then I can go for a Protect to burn the incoming Z move, which is very, very nice because he doesn't want to get 2-hit KO'd by Psychic. He wants to make sure I knock out, I click Protect, burn his Z move. So both Celesteela and Uxie, mons that I would definitely anticipate Terrakion to have a Z Crystal for, have Protect, just so we can hopefully burn that off. And then, like I said, Leech Seed and stuff like that with Celesteela can definitely help out. Shed Shell, so we don't get trapped by Magnezone with Magnapole. Dazzling Gleam into Farium Z knocks out the, let me just double check this here really quickly. Nope, that's not the set that I need. Hold on, just so I can double check here. I'm sure Boff is actually hitting me up on Discord right now, and I am not around to answer that because I'm in the middle of a recording. Let's check out Spiritomb here really quickly. What I would imagine to be a very bulky Pursuit Trapper. Dazzling Gleam does 29 to 35 too, and then we follow up with Twinkle Tackle, which does 57 to 69. So we will outspeed, we will be able to get a hit off. Sucker Punch hurts, Pursuit hurts, but if I can just drop a Twinkle, even if I can just drop a Twinkle Tackle on this thing, just to kind of put it down, I don't even think the 12 in, yeah, the 12 in special attack doesn't matter if I took it from special defense and put it in that. So the most bulk, like I said, just to give ourselves a chance against that Terrakion, take the hits just a little bit better. So Twinkle Tackle, Dazzling Gleam, Uxie, can it be viable? Yes. Do I think it'll work? We'll see. We'll see. And then last but not least here, we do have Gengar. Scarf Gengar is coming this week with the Cursed Body, Shadow Ball, D-Bond, Sludge Wave, and Focus Blast. 252 in special attack, 4 in special defense, and 252 speed with a Timid nature. The Timid nature on the Scarf is just in case he is Dragon Dance Mega Latios, so we can still speed tie with it at +1. Destiny Bond can be very, very niche in a situation where I need to drop a Terrakion, I need to drop a Mega Latios, and Gengar doesn't do too much. Focus Blast hits Terrakion, Focus Blast hits Magnezone, Shadow Ball hits everything that is not a normal type, which he doesn't have, because he traded it to me. And then Sludge Wave obviously hurts the Sylveon very, 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 very bad. So hopefully Gengar putting in some work here. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this team builder. Like I said, I'm really confident in this team. I'm really confident, but I'm also not too confident in this team at the same time. I'm confident with 4 out of 6 mons. Like I said, the Uxie and the Gengar I'm a little bit on, but we'll see how it goes. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Of course, if you're new, feel free to hit that subscribe button. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like as well. Show him some love to my man Boff. The link to his channel will be in the description down below. All that being said, I want to remind you guys to be great and do great. I'm going to let this outro bang. I'm going to talk to y'all soon. Later.